Good morning! In case you didn't know, it's Monday, and welcome to the morning show with Kelly and Barbara, your daily dose of everything that's good.
This is your Mindful Monday.
It is.
And boy, have we got a chock-a-block episode coming your way. But before we get to that, here's what you can expect this week. You can start your mornings bright and early with Get Active's first light workout at 7 a.m. for the seniors, closely followed by a solid sweat session at 8:30 with various Sports SG fitness instructors and studios like House Athletics, yoga movement, and uppercut boxing.
That's right. And then it's us, your favorite sister duo, to ease you into the working day on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You can keep the lunch hour fresh with In Your House with Raj Kumar.
Then you get to burn off that food coma at 3 p.m. with another solid sweat session. And at 4 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you've got What You Cooking with Ben Logan.
And come nightfall, you can let Duncan and John keep you company at 9 p.m. to break up the evening. But first, let's take a quick look at how the numbers shaped up. Friday was when we finally saw it dip under 1,000, so there was 897 cases. Saturday looked even better with 618 cases. Sunday, however, it went a little bit back up to 931, 2 imported, 18 community cases, 25 work permit holders in dorms, and 886 in the dormitories, bringing us to a total so far of 13,624. 74% though are linked to known clusters, so that is good. But remember, guys, we need to make sure that we are staying vigilant, especially with the slight increase in numbers. We do have a lot of foreign workers in our dormitories, so it's expected that our numbers are going to be yo-yoing for a little while more. However, we must play our part to make sure that we are keeping our citizens safe in the community as well.
Because you can kind of see the numbers of the community cases are quite consistent. You know, every day it's between 10 to 20 new cases, which means that we really, really just need to stay home and bring those numbers down.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to get to it. It's nice to see the numbers dipping below the 1,000 mark. But yeah, just overall, let's not let up those efforts.
So what are you doing to keep yourself occupied during this circuit breaker? Are you going to come out of it a master chef, maybe the next Olympian, or maybe you are going to be a new Picasso? But if you are going to try your hand in the kitchen, and maybe you've tried and failed, that's completely okay, but we've got you covered just in case.
That's right. We've got $50 vouchers from the masses to be given away today. Super simple mechanics. All you need to do is like and follow us on the Get Active TV Facebook page, share the morning show on your page, and also comment and tell us what is keeping you occupied during this circuit breaker season.
Super simple. Hopefully we'll see your comments online as well. We'll be addressing those comments later on. We've got some great guests coming in. We've got Wani Misban to help stretch it out. And we're also going to be talking to Brad Robinson of Ritual Gym. So if you want to drop him a question, let us know in our comments on Facebook and we'll talk to you in a little while. But we're going to go for a short break. When we return all of that, we've got different props coming your way, especially with Wani. Make sure you stick with us on The Morning Show with Kelly and Barbara.
Woohoo!
Good morning. You're watching The Morning Show, coming to you daily from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Get Active TV. Get those comments coming. We are so excited to hear from you guys. And as you can tell, I have had my morning coffee, which is a good thing because Wani is joining me in studio. And whenever Wani is involved, it means that you need to make sure that you are ready to work up a sweat or at least get a little bit more active. So, last week we had foam rollers.
Yes.
And this time round I have a fishing net.
Yeah.
Why do I have a fishing net? Well, actually we use this to play lacrosse at home with Sienna. But why do I have a fishing net, Wani?
You have a net to catch me. No, I'm just kidding. So we're gonna actually mobilize the joints basically of the body, so we get a little bit more juice and oiling going through the joint.
Juice and oiling in the joints. Oh, okay.
So that's mobility basically.
I have like visions of rubbing butter in my in
Think
my
of that.
shoulders.
That would be nice. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what are we gonna do?
Okay. So we're gonna start with so at home,
Yes.
if you have a fishing net, you can actually kind of use that. I have a stick that I got from Decathlon.
Yes. Oh, you got it stick from Decathlon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if you don't have either of this, you can actually use a broom,
That is
stick,
true.
a mop, maybe. Just make sure they're clean and dry.
You just like swinging it around and
Yeah.
or you could multitask, I'm sure, and do the cleaning.
Yeah, maybe possible, very possible. We will try that later, maybe. Yeah. So so mine is way longer than Kelly's.
Yes,
for
course.
sure.
Yeah.
This is for you to
Yeah.
see. So I will have my movements are going to be so much easier, but of course to make it fair for you, I'll make
very
it almost the same. So we're
Okay,
gonna
great.
actually raise the hands up to the sky, and then I'm just gonna cheat.
Oi!
Bring the hands back. So we're gonna go for shoulder mobility first.
Okay.
All right, raising up and around. So the other thing, what we're looking at, I'm looking at Kelly right now. So we want to make sure we don't pop the ribs.
Oh,
yeah, that's
done
a
it. Okay,
cheat.
wait.
Yeah,
There you go.
there you go.
Down.
So that's
It's so down right
yeah.
now.
So that's the reason why actually a longer stick actually helps a lot more. So
Yeah.
maybe try the end.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
oh,
there
but
you
that's
go.
way easier.
There you go.
Okay.
So usually we do like about maybe 10 times of that, and then we go around the circle. So
Oh, okay. All
in
right.
what do you call it? Clockwise or?
I
we go
don't even know
clockwise
if
first?
this is clockwise or anti-clockwise right now.
We go one direction first, and then we sing the song.
I'm trying to think of a One Direction song, but I
can't
can't think of one. Okay, and then change directions? I've already changed
Yeah.
directions. Okay. So in this move, we need to be trying to keep the arms straight, I'm assuming?
Yes,
Okay.
ideally straight. Same thing, same goal. We want to not pop the ribs up too much.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, you're a rib popper, right?
Yes, I'm a bit of a rib popper. It's so
Okay.
hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and then you can rest your hands, the stick by your shoulders over
Yep,
here.
all right.
We can do a little bit of neck work first.
Okay.
So just turn your head side to side.
Okay.
Just rest it on the shoulders.
Try and
You're gonna press it up.
yeah.
Actually, this might
It's
be
kind of nice. It's like a
Yeah.
little bit like a massage.
massage. It was pretty much like what we did last week
With
with
the
the
foam
foam roller.
roller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this gets that mobility through your shoulders, through your neck. Pardon me. Shall we start with the upper back then?
Okay, cool.
All right. So I like to do this not with the feet grounded this way. You can,
Okay.
but I prefer here.
So we can, okay, so,
So we can actually have, that
Legs
walking
apart?
stance, yeah.
Okay.
And then you twist.
Hello.
Hi. So the goal here is to actually get that twist towards the leg that's in front.
Oh, I'm cracking already.
Nice.
My hips. Okay.
Yeah. So do maybe about 5 to 10.
This is
of
nice because
this.
I'm actually feeling quite a nice stretch in my hip flexor and like my inner thigh just there
Great.
when I open up as well.
Yeah. So it's not just for the back, right? So it's the entire body. So once again, works through the fascia through.
Like just here.
Okay. Shall we change?
Yes. Okay.
And then you might feel a difference on this side. I
Ooh.
feel very weird and stiff.
Just like here, you get that stretch.
Yeah.
You know
So
it.
good, right?
I feel like
Okay.
I'm going to lose balance.
All right. Then we're going to leave the stick by the shoulders.
Okay.
We're just going to hinge forward.
This is where you're going to see that I'm zero flexibility.
Oh. All right. You're going to stay down here.
Okay.
All right. Let's
Right.
twist.
Twist.
Yes.
Oh, good
All right,
lord.
girl.
This is where I wish I had a
And turn.
a slightly longer one. I guess if you had a mop, this is where you could sort of just like mop the floor. You know,
That'd be great. Let's try that.
Multitasking.
No, and then do you think you can move along? Because there'll be just one spot, right?
Yeah. So
So
then you shuffle,
just-
shuffle,
And then shuffle to the other
and
side.
mop the
and
floor.
then change
Or you could
the other
sweep.
side. Yeah. Oh yeah, sweeping would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
So
like
you just extend it.
sweep
so
it that
if,
way.
If that's a
Sweep
broom,
it that way.
Yeah,
and I guess
that's
you
good.
could like tuck down and sort of like just sweep
You-
it a little
No,
bit
no, no,
more.
no. Your net is on the other side, so you got to sweep this way.
Jeez. This woman makes me work, you know. Okay, and then we try the other way.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness me. Okay, so actually,
I'm just
this is
gonna let Kelly do
really-
the work.
Yeah, this is really good for increasing the mobility in the hips, the thighs, and the glutes. My glutes hurt now. Okay, I'm done.
They shouldn't be hurting though.
Okay, I worked out. Okay.
Good to know that.
All right. So what's the importance though of making sure that your shoulders are mobile? I mean, a lot of people train shoulders, a lot of people are doing push-ups, my husband included. He's doing like this whole plus 10 thing.
Yes.
So every day you add an additional 10 push-ups onto whatever you did yesterday. I think they're
crazy.
currently at 190 and they're supposed to go on for the rest of the month. So it's going to be like 500 and something by the end of Circuit Breaker.
He
Can you
would
imagine
be-
doing
he would be so
500 and
jacked.
something?
He's already quite jacked at this point.
He's getting that way, yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, so the importance of mobilizing the shoulders.
To be very honest, basically, the joints do need to be mobilized so that you don't feel stiff. Literally, it's the idea of oiling, basically, in a car. So, so oiling through the joints.
How does that work though?
What do you mean?
Just the oiling process, is
So-
it the
so-
blood rushing to the area?
Not really. It just needs movement, basically. So that actually helps with getting the joints healthy. It's the same as fascia. Fascia actually does need movement in order to actually keep us like less stiff. So you do want to move it. So for joints, we don't want to crack these fingers, but you want to be able to actually mobilize the joints that can do all the circular bigger movements. So our what do you call that?
Look at her flex.
Our,
Go on. Yeah. Look
our
at that, and
arms
she's
can actually
fasting.
do this. Our shoulders.
Yes.
So the thing about since we're talking about joints, the way our body is designed is every alternate joint is mobility, like a circular. So our wrists, our shoulders can actually do all the circular movement. Our elbows can only do this. The same goes to your knees.
Your knees can only go.
Can
like that.
technically go this.
Yeah. Some weird
there's
people.
some range here, very limited. You don't want to do that very much. But the ankles,
Ankles can
yeah,
go and
can
your
go there,
hips.
your hips. There you go. And then basically the hip bone itself doesn't actually have that much mobility, but the spine does. So that's where we want to keep the health of the joints. Basically.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Wani, for sharing with us what we can do with our brooms.
Yes.
I'm
that.
going to work on my Chun-Li skills during the break, but when we return, like I said, we've got Brad Robinson coming up a little bit later on. But if you're getting a little bit overwhelmed, maybe you should take some time out for yourself. Not only to stretch, but maybe to do something like art therapy. Barbara's been practicing channeling her inner Picasso, and we're going to find out how that all turned out. Don't go away, you're watching The Morning Show.
I'm gonna hit you now.
Step right up, draw the next cut. You water the plant, we're animals, so get along with everybody else.
Welcome back. You're watching The Morning Show, checking in with you and making sure you're doing okay. I know a lot of people are feeling down because of all the services that have been suspended due to the circuit breaker, but
yeah, here's looking at all the home bakers that have had to press pause on operations. Stay strong, guys. A lot of them who are stay-at-home mothers who bake to provide a side income for the family. So if that is you, then we are thinking of you. And hey, you know what? Give us a shout out on Facebook. And when life goes back to normal, maybe we can start doing shout outs for you guys such that when you can resume operations, we can drive traffic your way. So all those mamas who are baking out of home, all the guys that are also cooking at home as well, let us know, drop us a comment on our Facebook page, and we'll see what we can do to help you guys out, because we're here for you as well. And if you've got any grievances, or if you just want to talk to somebody, then please drop us a note and let's see how we can start a conversation going. We got your back.
That's right. So
yeah.
whilst you've got some time on your hands, why not have another crack at things that you never really quite got the chance to do?
Yeah.
You know, things that you've never had time to do. And origami, DIY work, repainting the house, clearing out your wardrobe. And it's been a while since I've tried to paint. I figured it might be a good idea. Also, I don't really have an artistic bone in my body. But I thought, hey, stress reliever, you know, art therapy might be a nice option. And I'd seen lots of videos about this thing called acrylic cup painting. And it looks so straightforward. And I thought, how hard can it really be? Yeah, let's take a look.
So
I decided it would be a good idea to try out some art therapy, and I found canvases. Well, I got canvases from Lazada. I've got cups, and I've got my paints. So apparently it's really simple. I'm gonna try it out on the small one first because I don't want to mess it up too bad. What you want to do is take your acrylic paint. I'm gonna move this away so I don't mess it up. And you want to just squeeze it in. So this is not quite working out how I wanted it to. I've got a giant blob of acrylic paint. I just googled whether or not you can like put water in it with acrylic, and apparently you can. I feel like this is gonna be a really long process. So this is the final product. I cheated a bit at the sides. So I think it's more like chopstick painting than anything, but I'm gonna try it again. But I'm gonna dilute the paint instead. So I got like little cups of water that I'm gonna use to mix everything in a little bit. And then maybe take two will succeed. here I was thinking the third time is a charm. Maybe not. The second one was definitely my best one. But hey, you live and learn, and hopefully you have some fun.
Yeah. So that didn't quite go to plan.
So it was more like art stress than art therapy, if I'm being honest. So in the last one, I thought I had enough paint left, and I thought, yeah, I'll do it on the big square canvas because it'll be beautiful. And then I started doing it, and then I just didn't have enough paint left. So that didn't quite go to plan. I was like, never mind. I've got one good one that came out of it.
Go on, let's take a
second
look.
one. But here's what happened. So as I was lifting them up on the paper, like obviously paint had gone everywhere from when it drips off, picked them up to put them on the balcony ledge so that they could dry in the sun, and the paper tore, and then it fell like on itself. So instead of nice swirls, I now have fish scales. The one nice one that I did looks a bit, yeah. I mean, it's not bad, to be fair. Like, I know how to do it now. I know how much water I need to add, and I know that I just shouldn't touch it after it's done.
So guys, how much would you pay for Barbara's painting? I want to know. Drop us a note in the comments and tell us how much would you pay for Barbara's Picasso abstract acrylic cup paint?
Well, like, Donna was trying to make me feel better about it, and she was like, oh, it's not that bad. Like, it's quite nice. And I was like, oh, do you want it? And she's like, oh, no, it's okay, thanks. Truth hurts, in the words of Lizzo.
Oh.
But we want to give a little shout out to a couple of people who have commented good morning, telling us what you guys like to keep up to.
First up, shouting out to Fuddy for real. Hi, Fud. Very good morning to you. Hopefully you're enjoying your time this morning catching up with us.
Yeah, Liu Munfa, I watch YouTube videos to keep myself occupied during COVID-19. Yeah, buddy, don't we all? So many kitten videos.
So many kitten videos, but I hope that includes watching us
Also,
on YouTube.
Edgar did ask, how are we doing today? Thank you, Edgar. We're doing very well.
Yeah, high
for
on
a Monday.
coffee.
But he asked if we could talk about like stretching the toes and feet and stuff like that.
Well, that's interesting. Actually, tomorrow we're going to be getting
Timing,
Declan
man.
Halpin on, and we're going to be discussing about plantar fasciitis. So maybe we can get him to show us how to do a few more stretches with the toes as well. So Dec,
Gonna
if
be
you're
able to
watching,
flex.
that'll be on the agenda for tomorrow. We're just going to add that in there.
That's right. And you know what? Tell us, keep telling us what you're doing. Keep commenting. We want to hear how you're staying occupied. And you never know, you might be one of a few people. And it's not just one voucher we're giving away today. We've got a couple of vouchers, $50 vouchers from the masses to give away.
All you got to do is make sure that you are sharing our stream on your personal page, but then comment on it as well on our Facebook page and tell us what it is that you're up to. What are you doing to invest in yourself during continued circuit breaker to make sure that on the other side you come out smiling bright and hopefully a better version of yourself? Obviously, in great company with us.
That's right. We're off for a break, but don't go anywhere, because if you're a fan of fast and furious workouts, Brad Robinson is here to share more about Ritual's global domination and how it's dealing with COVID. So if you have any questions, pop them in the
Drop us a
comments
note.
so that we can talk to him about it later on. We'll see you after the break.
Welcome back to the morning show with Kelly and Barbara. It is that time of the day where we welcome a guest to join us, and in the hot seat today, co-founder, CEO of Ritual Gym, Brad Robinson. Brad, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me.
It's awesome to have you on, simply because both Barbara and I are big fans of Ritual. We've seen it grow over the years, but for people that don't know what Ritual is, tell us exactly what it is.
Sure. Well, first, thanks for that. Glad you guys are a fan and giving us some love on here. So Ritual Gym is a boutique gym, which my co-founder and I started in Singapore about 7.5 years ago. And to boil it down, we basically run high-intensity interval training sessions with a new class starting every 30 minutes all day long. So our big unique selling point is no matter when you want to train, just use our app, go in, book in for the 2:30 session, and it's yours. And we do other cool things like we let you come in dressed however you want. We'll give you your workout clothes. You can train barefoot. And we have this business model where our whole point is just to get people in and out as fast as possible. No nonsense, no time wasting. Give them a good workout, very safe, and let them kind of get on with their lives without all the excuses that we usually have to not go to the gym. We try to take all those away.
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing that whole principle that you had sort of like up on the walls and stuff, and all your infographics. It was always just sort of like, get in there, get changed, do your workout, have a quick shower, grab a drink if you need to, and then you get out of there, which was great because your first location was in the CBD. It was very good for the working crowd, and people were just in and out in no time at all. And like you said, it just removed those excuses of, oh, I just don't have time to train.
Yeah.
Because your average, lunch class that people would go for, you go, by the time you've walked to the gym and then you prep, you go for the class, and then, well, people like me, I end up taking a 2-hour lunch break because I take another hour to get ready. So I'm a unique case.
You're not that unique. There's a few. There's a few of you.
Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
Okay, so that whole concept sort of came about, and then you've run with it, and you've grown this entire empire almost. Tell us a little bit about your empire of Ritual, because it's not just Singapore anymore.
No, it's not. I mean, we in fairness, that wasn't necessarily the plan straight out of the gate. I mean, I'm an entrepreneur, is the cool word. So this was one of the projects I was working on. But after about 6 months, just kind of seeing the feedback and the metrics and the data coming in, I went, oh, this seems to be a thing. So we, kind of went back to the lab and decided, all right, what do we want to do with this? How do we want to grow? And then we decided we wanted to franchise the business because we wanted, the fitness industry was booming, and we were one of the real first people to really lean into the boutique specialty in Singapore. There was yoga, but there wasn't many, there was a personal training studios, but there wasn't many boutique gyms that just did this.
Now you throw a stone and you hit about 6.
Yeah, correct. Now they're everywhere. So it wasn't quite the clear path that it would be now. Back then it was very, do we open just a few in Singapore? Can we go global with this? So we decided to go with franchising so that we could kind of get out there quickly and all. But that required us to go back and basically document our entire business, which was already up and running, and a manual for everything and a procedure for everything and trademarks and legal work and all this sort of stuff. And
Fun stuff.
Oh, all the fun stuff. Yeah, writing all this software and the apps that we use and getting all that protected. Like, it's quite an undertaking. So we built that process, and then we used it to open a couple more outlets in Singapore to kind of refine the process. And then we went out to the world, and our first one was in Sao Paulo, Brazil, which was a very interesting way. My team was not happy with me when I said, just close this deal in Sao Paulo. And they went, what, in Portuguese? I said, yeah. They went, we're going to translate the whole business to Portuguese. And they went, huh. But we did it. And then, the kind of dominoes have been falling ever since. We've had some pretty good success, up until most recent events in the world have seemed to slow us down a little bit.
So how many countries are you in at the moment?
So we're in Singapore. Then we've got a few outlets in Brazil, a few in South Africa. We're in our first outlet in the U.S., recently opened up in L.A.
Wow.
We're in Madrid, and we're in Zurich.
Wow.
With kind of a few more starting to pop up elsewhere.
Nice. So obviously we mentioned COVID.
Yep.
That's kind of been a bit of a wet blanket on everyone's business nowadays.
It has.
So how or what steps and measures have you guys taken towards dealing with the whole situation?
Yeah, it's so we had an interesting viewpoint from here because Singapore at the time was kind of on the front page all the time for it's fine, they've got it together. And then we were watching kind of the rest of the world, the rest of our gyms start to have real problems, especially in Spain. And so they closed down, and then LA was forced to close down. So we developed these kind of processes to deal with it, communicate with clients, deal with the media, deal with landlords, but it was just one after another, and then Singapore was the last one standing for a while, and we stayed open here. One of the last gyms probably to stay open, just because our model allowed us to have less people and they're in there for less amount of time, so they let us stay open a bit longer. But then on the last tightening of restrictions, we got shut down as well. So this has been something I've been dealing with and my team have been dealing with for months now, as opposed to just since the circuit breakers hit. We've actually been dealing with for quite a long time.
So then, obviously, because you are global, you've got that bigger view. A lot of people here in Singapore, yes, everyone's affected, but
We're in this nice little bubble.
Yeah, Singapore's actually
It's a bit of a
very
bubble.
well controlled. Could you maybe draw some of the differences between how it's been dealt with overseas versus how Singapore's got it?
Yeah, I will say that the big difference here between everywhere else is Singapore they've acted faster. They've communicated better, more transparent. I mean, the sports desk, you guys call me on a regular basis. Just, do you know about this, and are you aware of this, and how's this working for you guys? And to be honest, in all the other markets we're in, it's been a bit of a, what's happening? We don't know what the rebates and landlord provisions and what, even in the States to this day, there's some cash coming in, but it's still a bit murky and confusing because it's so big and not quite the bubble it is now. So that's been the big difference here. Singapore's actually been the most, the smoothest shutdown and understanding of how this impacts our business and our cash flow and what the long-term outlooks look like. The rest of the countries they're all still closed, and some of them we still don't really have resolution on what's going to happen with the business or any assistance from governments or landlords. We still don't know in some of them. So
I guess because we're a smaller country, right? It's a lot easier to manage some of these things. The government's kept the communication lines very open when it comes to all these different businesses. It's also a matter of supporting each other, I guess.
Yeah, it is. It is, and it's we're in a good position here because we're a bit of an industry leader. So we
You've got
people,
the name.
Yeah, people ask our opinion, and government and other industry players as well. So we're in the know a little bit more here. But in Los Angeles, California, we've been there for a couple of months, really operating. Like, we don't have the same punch that we do here. So we're just this one little boutique gym in Santa Monica who's fighting for its life. So in that regard, Singapore definitely kind of led the world in how they've been handling it.
So what's next for you guys? How are you going to deal with it, and what are things looking like for you at the moment?
So I don't believe, and this is just my opinion, that fitness centers and gyms are going to be one of the first things that get opened up.
You mean you don't think that sweaty places where people brush up against each other?
I have a feeling. I have a feeling I think restaurants will probably open before fitness centers. So we've kind of buckled down for the long haul, and we've tried to put a continuity plan in place that is prepared for the worst case scenario, for a second wave, for God forbid a cluster that would have happened in our gym when we were still operating. We have prepared for that, and we'll ride it out and just take it a month at a time, a day at a time for the gym operations, and for we were on a big growth trajectory for our overseas expansion, and so a lot of resources were there pointed to that. We're just kind of in a holding pattern for the gyms, but we also have an app that we're just launching now as well, which has been on the back burner. It's an app called Ritual Anywhere. We just wanted to be able to have this thing for basically our members, was the original plan. You can't come to the gym or you're traveling, you can use this cool app. But with this shutdown that we're dealing with, we just decided to push that right to the front burner and put all of our resources into it, and all of our tech team and all our developers stopped everything else and have launched this app.
Okay,
which
we're
has been
stop
good.
right there. We're going to come back
Cool.
with more on this app because I really want to know more about it, and I think everyone needs to know. Whatever that can help us at home to work out is definitely something worth listening to. So we're going to go for a short break. When we return, Brad is going to continue talking to us about the app and also how he's dealing with his trainers and the rest of his business plans, obviously through COVID and beyond. Don't go anywhere. You're watching The Morning Show with Kelly and Barbara. Welcome back to the morning show with Kelly and Barbara. Continuing our chat now with Brad Robinson from Ritual Gym. Brad, we're talking just about the app that you guys have decided to accelerate in terms of plans. Tell us a little bit more about it and what it's going to do.
Yeah, so it really does take the ritual workout, which a lot of people, most gyms, this is how they program their workouts. The coach goes up to the board and goes, "What are we doing today?" And they just write the program on the board and go, "Oh yeah, Kelly hates these. We're gonna do more of these, and this is gonna wear. This is gonna wear." You know, and that's one way to do it. You can get fit doing that, but
45 minutes of burpees.
yeah, exactly. More burpees, and and then plank for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But Ian, my co-founder, who's he's the fitness guy. He's the sports science guy. That's not how he operates. So he developed an algorithm based on his take of all the sports science out there on overuse injuries and HIIT and strength versus Metcon and what ratio of this to develop as close as he could the perfect balanced program to where everything's kind of over the course of a month or a day or a week getting hit in all the muscle groups, and you're getting your heart rate up just the right amount of time and going over the kind of anaerobic threshold just enough, and he's crazy. And he built this system where these workouts come out and they're never repeated, and it gets all the clients just the right mix of everything. And so we kind of realized, like, well, that's really kind of the secret sauce. That doesn't exist out in the market. So we could take that same logic, put some cool content over top of it, and release this app out. So that's what we did. So it really is the same thing you get in Ritual. You're just in your living room and maybe.
Which I guess is really prevalent right now.
It seems to be a thing. People working out from home.
How does the app work? Do people download it, pay for it, and have access to workouts? Like, what's the
Is it subscription
mechanics?
based?
Yeah, so what we're gonna do, and we haven't announced this yet, but so right now we've had it out.
Here we go,
This guys, you heard it first here on Morning Show.
Morning Show got the scoop, okay?
That's right.
So right now we've got it out to a few thousand Ritual clients around the world, just to get some user flow and just make sure it's all stable. And then in the next next week to 2 weeks, depending on App Store approval, we're gonna release it to all of Singapore for free.
Wow.
For the duration of not even the circuit breaker, but as long as there's some restrictions on movements and people are stuck at home, we're gonna have a little give back to Singapore and release it to everyone for free, and do a big press about to get people using it. So it's a little less daunting. It's only 20 minutes, and in this app you have the ability to customize your workout. So a bit of an onboarding process, what's your fitness like, what's your lifestyle like, and this and that, how do you rate
And
that?
that's
Much like the introduction
Much-
session that you
much like the
usually
intro.
have when you first join Ritual.
Yeah, correct. So we get a little bit of a profile about you and what your goals are. And then every day before you work out, it goes, all right, I'm in. And you go, how are you feeling today? The same as Ritual, what's your RPE chart? I'm feeling a 6 out of 10. So the workout already is changing some logic based on what you said. And then it goes, what equipment do you have? And you go, I have suspension trainers, a medicine ball, dumbbells. Okay, cool, if that's all you have. And then next, anything else? Do you have a towel for isometric stuff, a workout partner, a backpack? I have these things. And start my Ritual, and it will give you today's workout based upon what we know about your assessment, what your goals are, what equipment that you have.
So will that always change then? Is that something that based on all those things that you key in, that will always generate you something different?
Correct.
Personalized workout.
Correct. So the workout is different every day. It pushes in a daily workout according to Ian's protocols. But everybody's different. So inside that same workout, this will be the fundamental of it. There'll be 5 or 6 progressions, regressions, and changes you can make depending on people's skill sets and what they're able to do. But it's basically the same workout. You're working the same things. It's just some people will be doing a very beginner basic movement. Some people might be just doing isometric holds. Some people will be doing plyometric push-ups and all this crazy sort of stuff. But for them, what they need, it's the exact same thing, the exact same muscle groups.
So a lot of gyms have jumped on they're running live workouts and stuff like that. Has Ritual done that as well? Are you guys running live workouts for your clientele?
So we did a few just before the circuit breaker, kind of shuttled that down. We have a studio, and we had a few going on, and they were really well received. And it's something that we are not doing because we still would have to have people doing it from home. And it just feels to me like it's something like we're trying to get permission from the government to be able to run our studio safely with some social distancing measures, so we can run these live sessions and have, because that's built in the app as well. So you can do your daily workout that gets spit out, or you can do a video on demand, or you can join the live stream. Because my long-term vision for this is globally, every 30 minutes all day long, a new live stream is starting, being coached by a ritual coach from our studio.
That's incredible.
And then you can just log in and go, I'm in this class, 9,000 other people around the world, and it's live. And we have two students behind the coach being taught along the way.
So where can we make sure that we've kept up to date on when this is launching out in Singapore?
All of our social media channels at Ritual Gym on Instagram and Facebook and all the likes, or our website, ritualgym.com, and we'll let everyone know there.
Fantastic. Brad, thank you so much for joining us
Thanks
and
for having me.
sharing everything. I think it's really insightful to see from a perspective of someone who's seen the Singapore side of things, but also globally seeing the drastic differences in how everything's being managed. We did talk a little bit about burpees just then. Speaking of burpees, Baba had a crack, and now it's time to see if we can break it down with Cheryl Lowe to make sure that you are getting into all those movements safely, securely, and to make sure that you're not injuring yourself whilst you're working out from home. Let's take a look.
All right, on today's Break It Down, we've got Cheryl Lowe in studio. And what we're going to be doing is for the whole week, kind of breaking down the basics. So last week we covered planks, which was just me and Kelly when I was doing the plank. But each day you're going to be introducing us to new exercises and kind of getting really down into the nitty-gritty technical parts of everything. So what are we doing today?
All right, the first one we're going to be doing today is going to be the popular, and everyone knows this word, burpee. So yeah, it's love and hate exercise. Love because it works a lot of different muscle groups, the whole body technically, and hate because actually, I don't have to explain why people hate it. You can try it if you haven't tried it out yet. You can try it on your own. We have like regressed version and the harder version, the actual standard burpee itself. So burpee, everyone knows how it's supposed to be done, but there are a lot of different angles, details, and we are literally breaking down the whole movement, just breaking down one exercise into different parts to make sure you get the right muscle groups when you are working on that exercise itself and try to prevent any strains on joints.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's
Okay.
very important.
So how do we start?
Oh, we're gonna start. I'll explain and you'll be doing it.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna be starting, of course, with standing upright first, right? And then
I'll face this
into Since we have done the breaking down the plank, everyone should know how to do the plank by now. So we're gonna start in a standing position and then getting your hands on the ground, jump your feet out into a plank first. So jumping
Hands on the
out,
ground, jump
into a
out to a
plank. So
plank.
making sure it's a plank position. That is the first part of the burpee itself, without dipping the hips. So a lot of people going down, when they jump the feet out, the hips dip too much. There's gonna be a lot of pressure on the lower back, and we don't want that. So from here, jump out into a plank position, very important. And from here, without going all the way down, are you feeling it in your abs yet?
Yeah.
Without going all the way down, this is the easier version. Hold it there. So from here, you're going to jump your feet in towards your hands. So this is actually the correct way of doing it, because your feet's close to the hands without the butt sinking all the way down. So no full squatting. You want your butt as high as you can this way, and all you have to do is jump up with a hop. Stand up with this tiny hop. Yeah, that's it. That's the basic burpee itself.
Okay.
So you want to avoid doing, a lot of people do full squats when they're coming up from the burpee itself. So
So
from
how
here,
would that look like?
Yeah, so
what do we
the-
want to avoid?
commonly you're gonna see a lot of people doing this. Hips down, come up, and then hop. That's a lot of lower back pain, knees pain, and then hop. So we don't want that. So you want to do...
And also, I noticed when you were from the plank, when you were jumping in the way that you're not supposed to do it, it was kind of like your feet were very close together, and then your knees were angled outwards. And it feels a bit awkward when you do it like that, as opposed to keeping the core tight and the hips tight when you jump in back from the plank.
Yeah, correct. And the main thing is more of pulling the butt up as high as you can. And pulling the butt up, you're going to be using a lot of lower abs. So might as well, you're doing the whole, burpee, and then work that lower abs a little bit more by pulling the butt up. And you're going to take a lot of pressure off the knees.
Ooh, okay. So let's talk about regression. if we really need to rein it into the extreme basics for someone, how would we do a completely regressed burpee?
Regress burpee for people who are doing it for the very first time. You can, same thing, starting with standing upright.
Here we go.
Hands on the ground, and then instead of jumping your feet out, you notice that you're still keeping the butt up, so that's good. Keeping the butt up the whole time, and then from here, going into a plank position, step out. Yeah, just stepping out 1 foot at a time. Stop in a plank position, and then just holding the hips up with the shoulder level the same. One straight line, and then from here, instead of tucking both knees in, stepping inwards, but still the butt up. Still keeping the tailbone up as high as you can over here. And then from here, just standing upright. That's it. No need for the hop, and just walking through,
So you're
back.
stepping through it.
Yeah,
going
stepping
down
through it,
and
getting,
coming back up.
Yeah, that's
Woo!
correct.
Still
Getting
a
the
workout.
positions right, yeah.
Okay.
Still a workout.
And I hate to say
yeah.
this, but how about a progression?
Yeah, the harder version. So the standard burpee is gonna be exactly the same. You're gonna be here also
okay.
demonstrating. So it's gonna be exactly the same, except this time round, when you jump your feet out, your chest's gonna touch the ground, all the way to the ground. Okay.
So my big question is, a lot of the time we do this, some people stop in the plank, do a push-up, and then come back up. Or should it be, you know, you go down, and as you're going down, your chest hits the ground?
As you're, okay, I personally like to do it as you're going down, chest hits the ground, and then you spring up from there. The
Okay.
push-up version, I find it even harder than the burpee
It's more tiring,
itself.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you gotta resist the going down, and then you resist, yeah, it's hard.
I
Yeah,
tried.
if you wanna do that, you can.
Nope. It's fine. I'm good. Okay, so we go down.
Yeah. All the way down, chest touches the ground. There's a split second of rest time on the ground. So you just lay down, and then coming up as a plank, butt up, and all the way up.
So even on the coming up,
Yeah, with the hop.
so even on the coming up, you want to make it as quick as possible.
Yeah,
Right,
as
so-
quick as possible. It's quite a power move, actually. There you go.
So the
yeah.
part that I struggle with is when I'm coming back up from here, I have a tendency to obviously like
yeah,
wiggle
that's like
around a little bit, like it's not a good.
Yeah, that's like from a ground dead stop push-up coming up, which is actually pretty tough, especially for those who are struggling on upper body strength.
Yeah.
And I think because you're from the ground, your body's already straight, it's actually okay to leave your knees on the ground to do a, kneeling down kind of push-up as you come up, and then you straighten up. That's
Cool.
fine. Yeah, but as much as possible, you just keep practicing 10 reps, and then every
what
single day.
do we think would be a nice kind of build up in terms of getting someone used to the movement from the complete regression all the way to a nice solid burpee?
Solid. Yeah, it's all about training, like practicing. So you can start off with the first, the basic movement itself, where we do the stepping out into the plank, and then stepping in, standing up. You just keep doing that for 10 reps, 3 rounds of 10 reps every day or every other day.
Day by day, we build it up.
You feel comfortable with the level 1 version.
Yeah.
Then you move on to level 2, attempt the level 2. 10 reps of level 2, 3 rounds, and then you go on to level 3. Yeah, so you build it up this way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so just so everyone at home has a good reference point, let's see you do 3 full burpees, because I demonstrated everything in this one. So to end it all off, you're going to do some too.
All right, 3 full burpees.
Yes.
The hardest version?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not letting you get away with this.
Okay.
And go. All the way down. Oh, you see, she's got that good core coming back up again. She's nice and light. And there's almost like there's no pause. There's no
All right.
pause in between the jumps. All right, well, thank you so much for teaching me how to do proper planks and burpees on today's Break It Down. Try it at home. Not gonna lie, it did take me a while to cool down after that. I felt the burn, even though I was just like demonstrating a little bit. Everything was engaged, I promise.
Fun times. Alrighty, we're going to go for a short break. Stick around. Here at Get Active TV, we are helping you to stay healthy in mind and body. So we're going to be bringing you now the mind portion after the break. Don't go away. You're here on The Morning Show with Kelly and Barbara.
Step right up, draw the next card. You water the plant, we're animals, so get along with everybody else. Is this ship sinking? I've been thinking. Are we sinking? I've been thinking. Been a little time to get along. A wake-up call, throw the next up. Be one of a kind, original. Don't be another sign of the times. Fight. Wanna know the secret? We get on. Wanna know the secret? We get on. Try to find the feeling we belong. It's all for one and all for fun.
Welcome back to the morning show. Here with us on Get Active TV, it's me, Barbara, and my favorite sister, Kelly.
Hola. Okay, so just before we end off for today, just want to remind you guys to take stock of everything that's happened over the weekend. Think of everything that you have been grateful for and that you have to be grateful for. And then just keep that in mind when you're about to embark on the rest of the day. We've got a full week ahead of us, although it is a short week, so you do have something to look forward to when you're at home. And just focus on those for a few moments before you get into the rest of the day. Now, we understand that a lot of you are thinking of what you're doing at home to make sure that on the other side of circuit breaker, you have upskilled yourself. So for those of you who are commenting in, please make sure you keep those comments coming because you stand a chance to win those $50 Masses vouchers.
That's right. We want to give a quick shout out to Lin Ping, who said he tried using his kitchen bamboo pole and got a really good stretch. So
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's
nice
right.
to know.
The
We want
little
to say
hanging
thank
pole.
you to Wani for showing us that one. Also, a big thank you to Amelia, who said that she would buy my painting. She didn't say how much though, because let's be honest, it could be $2, it could be $20. But
we'll see.
thank you anyway for that one.
Alrighty, make sure you join us again tomorrow. If you have been out there running, if you've got pain in your foot or maybe your shins, you might actually have plantar fasciitis. We've got our resident physio in to help out with some releases. Declan helping from UFit coming your way tomorrow.
You can also break up your day with a mid-afternoon workout with resident hunks Kenneth and Yao Xiang today at 3 p.m. And note, we are also having John and Duncan on the evenings at 9.
From Barbara and myself, though, remember, stay safe, stay strong, and stay at home. We'll see you tomorrow.